Hey there, Buffy. So, here we go. I have to admit I did see the opening already because the game already did something to tick me off. There's no settings option from the start screen. The settings are only in the pause menu when you pause the game. So for me to set this up in the way I needed to, I had to sit through this, which is unskippable, before I could hit pause and have access to the settings. And now I'm bringing it up again. And while this is a beautiful opening, it's starting on the wrong foot for me because I wasn't able to appreciate the beauty initially because it was like, let me pause, let me pause, let me pause. And now I've already seen it. So, I was going to say not the game's fault. It is the game's fault for not giving me settings in the start menu. Just give me settings in the start menu. I hope you liked it, Ms. Wicked Wolf. Hey, Taran. Now, just as a heads up, I might have to call the stream early. I don't know if that'll happen, but it might. But we'll see. I do like the art style. I can say that definitively right from the start. Okay. Huh. All right. I would think that's a jump button. It is just having me drop to my knees. Okay. The animation's gorgeous. Okay, so that, all right, now I've got to jump. There we go. It's a bit more what I would have expected from the movement. Very stark. Yeah, I know that one, Black Cover. I'm familiar. Okay. I like the music. Reminds me a little of Journey, actually. The music specifically. Not necessarily in composition, but in mood. Okay. Ah. Okay. Alright, so some of this stuff is moving. Interesting. Oh, I've tried out girls before. I'm quite fond of girls. Okay. Hey there, Dharma. Thank you very much. A giggity giggity, a giggity goo. I thought that might have put me further. Okay. Okay. There's a poster out, Nick? No, I haven't seen it. Okay. Don't know what that did. But it did something. Just give me a second. Oh, okay. I thought that would be something I could get on. Nope, it is not. That is a background feature. That is a beautiful background feature. That is a background feature. Okay, so can I... That's what I thought would happen. Which means I can get the third one down here. Which should mean that with 3. There we go. That's cute, Nick. I like that. Yeah, I did, Phil. I liked it quite a bit. I'm not sure that there is one in a traditional sense, Black Cover. My understanding is that it is more of a mood piece than a narrative. I mean, it started out with my character, like, sitting in a giant stone hand that then crumbled. Like, that's what has literally happened. But I don't have a lot of context, and I'm pretty sure a lot of it's just meant to be symbolic. Yeah, I saw that the trailer's out, Nick. A color has been brought back. Okay. I am very torn about whether or not to even watch the 5th season of Stranger Things, if I am being completely honest. Because I have a very high certainty that I am going to hate it. Or at least hate significant parts of it. And I don't like going to something that I think I'm going to hate. And I really don't like just ragging on a thing that other people like. Like, I have no problem calling something crap that's crap. But, like, if I know it, if I believe in advance that I'm going to think it's crap, my inclination is to avoid it, because nobody needs to hear me rag on it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I wasn't thrilled by that plot point 255. We'll see where it goes, but yeah. I've had that happen a few times, Varaxis. Okay. There's one I'm thinking of specifically that I really like the look and feel of, but just could not, like, something about it kind of held me at a distance. What was it? A Highland Song. That's what it was. I really wanted to like that game, but I couldn't click. Hi, birdies. Lurk away, Kenshiro. That's their newer one, isn't it, Varaxis? See, I did like season 3, Nick, and there were still good parts of season 4. The stuff with Max, especially in that first block, was good. I really liked Eddie. So, like, I said in my reviews of season 4 of Stranger Things, only about 40% of it is good, but that good stuff is still really good. But it is the minority of what makes up the thing at this point. So, you know, and I hate Vecna. Like, I really, really, really hate Vecna. Be careful with that recommendation, Varaxis, because you want to talk about a game that looked great that I ended up rage quitting. Ori and the Blind Forest is probably at the top of that list. Yeah, this really does kind of have the energy of a 2D journey. I mean, that didn't help Nick, but that was not my overriding problem. My overriding problem, more than anything, was I hated Vecna. I absolutely hate him. I think he is the worst idea that the show has had, and they're doing more of him. My issue, Veraxis, was I don't think Ori did a great job at balancing its tone with its difficulty. Because there was a very specific section that made me rage quit that game. And it was this bit where that was clearly meant to be a very triumphant moment going by the music, but I kept dying over and over and over and over again. And it just turned me off so much that I can't take this as a celebratory moment because you won't stop killing me. For that show specifically, Ms. Wicked Wolf, yes, he is. Yes, he is. In a vacuum, he's fine. He's workable. His gimmick's okay. He's kind of generic. But that's in a vacuum. For Stranger Things, yes, he is terrible and atrocious and ruins the show. He is way, 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 way too explicable. Part of what was amazing about that first season especially was this sense that you got of just, we can't fully understand. There's a Lovecraftian sense of we can't fully understand the Upside Down and what's in it. And now it's just some dude. It's just some dude who monologues and has psychic powers. Yeah, I can understand that, and it sucks. See, I like season 3, Nick. Now, granted, part of that is the cast additions. I really like Robin a lot, and I also thought it just found stuff for the characters to do a lot better than in season 2. Season 2's big problem is there's a whole chunk of the characters who have nothing to do but are there anyway. Honestly, Mike probably being the worst on that front. Whoa. If I cared more about Mike 255, then I would maybe feel the same. It's not a bad thing to address. Whoa. Question is that based off timing or location? Okay, that's timing. That's something that's going to happen intermittently, it seems like. Sorry, give me a second. See, I love Annihilation Veraxis, and the bear scene creeps the ever-loving hell out of me. I love Annihilation. But see, for me, cosmic horror should be a mix of horrifying and beautiful, which I think Annihilation really nails. A little, Dharma? Not excessively, not to the point that I've ever had to scold you for it, but a touch, a little. Yes, Ms. Wicked Wolf, that's Finn Wolfhard's character. See, I don't think that is your view, and if it whoops, and if it kind of lost its steam for you, Veraxis, that's totally valid, and you're not wrong. It didn't for me. I was hooked in, and I find the last, I guess I'll call it a confrontation just for lack of anything else to call it. I really loved that scene. Mouth of Madness is an interesting one. I do like it. It is a little bordering on camp. A movie that did amazing cosmic horror until it suddenly didn't, because it blew it in its third act. But Under the Skin, first 2/3 of that movie shook me a lot. So that's one that I'd recommend checking out if you haven't seen it. And given what I didn't like about the last third, it actually might work better for you if you haven't seen it already. It depends on what you mean by better, Kenshiro. Like, I find Patreon a heck of a lot easier to manage than Ko-fi or Ko-fi or however we're pronouncing it. But I've also been on Patreon a heck of a lot longer. Like, here's the thing about both of them to keep in mind, because this is true of both. Whoa. This is true of both of them. They are not a platform to build on. And what I mean by that is, to get decent support on either Patreon or Ko-fi, you have to build up a following elsewhere and direct people to it. Folks don't browse Ko-fi or Patreon looking for people to support. So you can't treat them like a social media site like YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, where you put your stuff out there and work on getting the audience, your intended audience, to find it. In the case of, I wonder. In the case of either of those, you're going to have to build your following elsewhere and direct people to it. How do I break that? Can't figure out how to do that. I wonder. Hang on. Hey, Knit. Yeah, it's really nice to have you back lately. Dang it. Wish I knew how to get through that. I don't, though. Foo. I think, Kenshiro, it might partially depend on how it is you intend to run your crowdfunding. Like, Patreon is set up very well for you to have exclusive benefits for people, be they, access to a Discord or exclusive content or whatever. Ko-fi, I think you can do some of that, but it's not really It's not really optimized for it. Ah, there we go. So, if part of your plan is exclusive things like support me for so much, and I don't know, you can commission a piece of art or like whatever for example. Then Patreon makes managing that a lot better and a lot more intuitive. If your interest is just like, hey, I'm going to be putting my stuff out regularly, would you like to help ensure that I'm able to do it? Coffee might work for that. I don't know anyone who has it as their primary source of support. Now, I say that, and I don't mean that in a nobody uses it way. I know people who are on there. I just don't personally know of anyone who has it as a primary. And it seems to be more used by, like, artists, like visual artists, you know, to just put up a piece of their work intermittently, and, you know, people put, because, like, I have a Coffee, I almost never remember to update it. What I generally post there is I'll post, like, images from my burlesque shows and stuff like that. So, oh, I get what I'm doing wrong. So, like, it seems to be better optimized for that. I am aware of the SCP Foundation 255. Jeez, how long is this going to go on? Oh, I can move. Oh, I didn't realize I could still move in this form. Yeah, Nick, the bear scene is a lot. Okay. Ooh. Neutral? Nick? Like... Whoa! Well, go get some rest then, Tiger. It's okay. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, I can't say I was ever familiar with Air Buddies, Ms. Wicked Wolf. And I wouldn't even necessarily say that that's like a you need to save your career thing. The thing with child actors is a lot more that, like, they have two careers. Well, if they want to keep working in the industry, they are going to have two distinct and separate careers. They're going to have a childhood career and they're going to have an adult career. And they are very much different beasts. And occasionally, whatever your child career was can help you get an adult career, or occasionally it can make it harder to have an adult career. It can really go either way. Huh. Oh. Hello. There we go. Yeah, but it was also around when my kid was very much into dogs. They never really got into that one, though. At least not to my memory. They were into Paw Patrol for a while. Aha! I knew there was going to be something. Whoops. Alright, let's try this again. Okay, alright, so it's just those bits. Dang it. Give me a second. Whoop. Dang it. Okay. Oh, there's like there's a rock up there. Should just be getting onto that. There we go. There we go. Come on. Yeah! I don't know what those do, and I know I've missed one, at least one, before, but I still want to get them when I can. Oh, come on. I think I'm going to need to replace this controller soon. The A button is sticking. Yeah, I've heard good things, Kura. So wait, was there more? Was there something over here? Or is this the way I was supposed to go? Dang it, I don't know which was the alternate. The other way might have been the alternate way. Whoops. Hang on, can I go back? I might not be able to. Nope. Okay. Curious. This does strike me as the kind of game that once you know the full way through it is probably very relaxing to replay, because I know Journey is that kind of game for me. Oh, would you be so kind as to move? Thank you. There we go. Have you ever read or watched something you just assume the creator must be one gender based off the nature of the story, but then been totally wrong? Last night I watched this anime movie about two teenage girls who became professional manga artists. I was so sure it was written by a woman, but it was a dude who normally writes shonens. Yeah, I've made false assumptions like that before. Although, I think most of the times I've been wrong. It was a matter of assuming that the creator was either trans or cis and being wrong about that. I'm not sure if off the top of my head I've been wrong about the flat out, on the male-female dichotomy thing, but am I the only one who thinks the new Freaky Friday is entirely unneeded? I don't know anyone who thinks it isn't unneeded, Gabriel. I can't imagine you're the only one. I mean, of course we don't need another one. I mean, arguably we didn't need the remake in the first place, but, it's easy to get caught in the quagmire of what is quote-unquote necessary art. You know what I mean? That's a bit of a landmine of a topic. Huh. So, that's not a bit I can climb. Why is that not a bit I can climb? Alright, hold on. Aha, ha, ha, ha. Hello. Here we go. So wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm aware, Ms. Wicked Wolf. I'm actually not a big fan of body swap movies, especially body swap comedies. They lean very heavily into cringe humor, which I hate. So, I don't know. Is it the best body swap movie? Maybe. It's a genre I tend not to like, not because of the inherent notions of the premise, but because of the kinds of stories that premise is usually used to tell. What? Hold on. Can I drive it back down? Huh. Ah, there we go. Ha 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 ha. Now we're talking. Like, there's a reason when I made a video talking about body swap movies, it wasn't about what are the good ones or what are the bad ones. It was talking about the ethics of body swapping as a concept and how those ethics are almost never explored. I would not. So, okay. So, you're talking about the first video game related one? Because there. Hold on. Because, okay, so Welcome to the Jungle, I would not count as a body swap movie. I would count that as a body alteration movie because they're not really swapping. They're just taking over avatars that otherwise are kind of blank slates. Now, you could make an argument that the second one, Next Level, is kind of at least a body swap movie insofar as there are people swapping between the avatar bodies that they inhabit. So there is an actual trade that goes on in that one. Doctor Who did body swap bits with New Earth. I don't recall there being like an actual proper body swap as like the primary premise of an episode. Huh. Okay. If I had stayed in my heavy form, would that have worked? Can't quite get there. Okay. The main thing I liked about Next Level was discovering that Awkwafina does a really good Danny DeVito impression. I liked that. That was a fun discovery. But other than that, it's very much inferior. Oh, what the heck? It's very much inferior to Welcome to the Jungle. Okay. There we go. Flatline kind of does it. Like, Clara is very much taking on the role of the Doctor in that, but she isn't she isn't pretending to be the Doctor to people who know who the Doctor is. But she is kind of trying to fill his role. So that one's kind of close. I think I've noted, excuse me, I think I noted this in the Black Mirror episode that she's in. I am surprised that I'm not tired of Awkwafina's shtick. And I don't mean shtick as necessarily a derogatory. There are plenty of actors who are what I would call shtick actors. Like, they have a stock, sort of thing that they bring to a part, and they're expected just to bring that. I consider Melissa McCarthy to be a shtick actor. Jim Carrey was for a while, until he tried to break out of it. And Awkwafina hasn't really done much to break out of her shtick, but I'm not tired of it yet, which is kind of impressive. I would have thought I would have been by now. That's true, Nick. Yeah. I couldn't remember what happened with that aspect. So what I would say with New Earth is, by the strictest sense, it's a possession, but like trope-wise, it is doing the body swap humor thing. Like, when I made my video on body swaps, it was and the ethics of body swaps, it was largely inspired by Wonder Woman 1984, which is technically not a body swap, but it is in the spirit of a body swap. So it's one of those things that, like, is it this thing? No, not technically. But is it treated the same way and used to the same end as this thing? Yes. If that makes sense. Okay, so I can't even go that way. All right. Okay. Yeah, at a certain point when it comes to tropes, there's the specifics of the trope, the logistics of the trope, and then there's the spirit of the trope. And it is something that can happen in good faith or in bad. But sometimes people get caught in the quagmire of, well, is this really that trope? Because that trope is this, and this technically does this. I'm like, it's to the same narrative end. It's using something very close to accomplish the same things that trope is used to accomplish. So I would say that you often run into instances of examples that spiritually are doing that thing, even if by the strict technical definition they are not. And you can run into that with stuff like fridging and barrier queers tropes a fair bit, where, again, because they're generally considered negative things, people will debate the technicalities of it and ignore, whether or not the spirit of the thing is in play, if that makes sense. Oh. Finished Gris years ago. Still come back to it from time to time just to enjoy the calm atmosphere and beautiful scenery. Again, I do the same thing with... yeah, I did miss one. I knew I did. I do the same thing with Journey. I've heard, over the years, very mixed takes on Crazy Rich Asians from a very wide variety of people. And, I thought for what it was a fun movie. It's not generally my genre. I had fun with it. Don't ever need to see it again. And I would default to other people's views on the ins and outs of, accuracy or anything else. I assume you count Face Off as a body swap movie? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. If you want to be technical, it is it's surgery to look like the other person, but technically they don't inhabit the other person's body. But effectively that is the plot. The fact that they used surgical means as opposed to fantastical means, which is what you usually have to do with a body swap story, doesn't alter the nature of the thing. Whoa. Okay. Oh. Thank you, Nick. Okay. It's an interesting premise, 255. Whoa. Okay. Sky High would have worked fine as a movie if they just didn't cop out with the ending. But broadly speaking, yes. I mean, like, Sky High as a TV show is basically just My Hero Academia. So, I mean, I kind of feel like the ship sailed on that one. I really do hate the ending of Sky High. I really do feel like it ruins the movie. Whoa, okay. This is going to be about getting the timing. Oh, shit. Damn it. Okay. Let's hold on. There we go. Yeah, it's rare for me to be interested in watching something that is like, it kind of needs to be that from the outset. I don't enjoy watching something become bad. Like, that's why Gotham's awesome. Like, it became more trash as it went. Yeah, I will absolutely grant that. But it was also trash from minute one. So, and it had fully embraced its own trashness by episode 3. So, and I hear that Riverdale is pretty upfront with being trash as well, which, you know, it's fine, but I'm not super interested. Hehe, gotcha. Okay, that part I understand, Young Dharma, for sure. What the? Okay. Oh, I love Gotham. But Gotham also, like, pretty much got there right away. As opposed to Flash, which spent its first couple seasons trying to be serious. And then when it started to get preposterous, I was like, oh, okay, guess I'm done then. Whoops. No, they just made Barbara absolutely psychotic. Barbara is one of my favorite characters in that show. I really love her. Which is funny, because in season 1 I hated her. And then they had her just go nuts. And I was like, oh, okay, never mind. This is amazing. This is really stupid, but it's amazing. So wait, what am I doing here? No. Oh. Getting him an apple. What's he gonna do now that I've done that? Are there others? Oh, there are others. I should have been doing that as I went. Oh, that's cute. I've seen the first couple episodes, Quick Sticks. And I've seen clips here and there. It's cute. Whoa. Now that anime film I mentioned earlier, I feel like, for better or worse, it's more normal for men to write stories about young women protagonists in anime and manga. I feel like, especially young women as protagonists in a story that is not necessarily a quote-unquote girl story, is more common in general over there. But that is my impression as an outsider. I don't know if I'd swear by that. Oh. So wait. Aha! There we go. Speaking of Mary Elizabeth Winstead, have you watched any of Final Destinations? Now the franchise has embraced silliness for better or worse. I've only ever seen the first one all the way through. Like I'm not enough of a gore hound to have really gotten into it, just because, you know, I'm not somebody who's into the kills enough. Like, they're cool and everything, but like the stories are thin, and it, you know, it's the same reason whoa. Okay. Hey. It's the same reason I never really got into too many slashers. Is that maybe there'll be one or two good ones, but after a while it's just about, how awesome are the kills? I'm like, I can appreciate that that's a thing, but also at the same time, I don't care about the rest of what's going on, and that's not enough for me to be here. You know what I mean? Ah. I've heard that. It's just not high on my priority list. I mean, it's just not really my kind of movie, by and large. And just making sure there isn't something over here. Oh. Did I just screw up? I might have. Or was he just leaving? Oh, maybe I couldn't have followed him. I don't know. I should have tried. Oh, thank you. Okay, so that's one. So we got one. The question is about getting the other. It's over here. Oh, it changes when I jump. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, whoops. Okay. Whoops. Ah, dang it. Like, mechanically, I'm totally down for this, but I have the problem that the jump is mapped to the A button, and my A button on this controller is sticking, which can result in me jumping when I don't mean to, and then that throws everything off. Oh, damn it. So wait a minute. Hold on. There we go. Oh, I never had any interest in that game, Nick. That would have driven me nuts. I mean, like, that's literally a game designed to drive you nuts. So that's a big pass for me. You don't get anything, Nick. It's just a feature that YouTube implemented that I don't like, that I can't disable on my end. So whoa. Okay, so I've got a double jump now. Got it. I'm surprised we got a ground pound before a double jump. That is unusual. There should be, as Wicked Wolf. That's the intention. Interesting. Yeah, I don't like what it encourages, Nick, because it doesn't encourage, like, I understand the thought process that went behind, like, the number 1, number 2, number 3 nonsense thing. The idea is to encourage actual activity in the chat. I understand that. But the thing is, it doesn't encourage meaningful activity. It just encourages literally any activity. So, depending on the kind of audience you have, you can end up... You can end up with people just spamming the chat trying to get the number 1 rank, which I don't know anybody who would want that to be the experience for people in their chat. You know what was a thought I had after watching the Battlestar Galactica Season 1 finale? If Adama was willing to take over, why did he seem to care about separation of power until now? Like early in the season, he refused to let Galactica crew act as police. Because this was not something that he wanted. Okay, so you are mixing up 255. You're mixing up the idea that a thing that he did was a thing he ever wanted to do. Him being willing to do that, if it got to a point where he felt Rosalind was such an impediment to how he thought things could run, doesn't mean that it was something he wanted to do prior to that. It was a situation he wanted to avoid. But when he found himself in it, he did what he felt was best, which was a thing that he had previously openly stated he didn't want to do. So it's not like it invalidates anything that he said earlier. It just means that he found himself in a situation where he believed he couldn't hold on to that principle anymore, that there were other things that were more important. For the most part, I like JMS. Like JMS, like any writer who's been... Oh, come on. Like any writer who's been working for as long as he has his share of stinkers. Not mechanically it doesn't, Dharma, because I could not stand Teslagrad. That one's in my rage quit folder. I really, really did not like that one. Oh, come on. There we go. Jesus. So, mechanically, it does not feel like Teslagrad at all, because I did not get on well with Teslagrad's mechanics. And then I remember very specifically my breaking point, Dharma, was a boss fight that I was having the worst time trying to hit this guy. Again, because of the mechanics and the control. Like, I had gotten a handle on it well enough to get by, but not well enough to actually be good at it and be able to do it, like, on command. So, like, being put in a pressure situation where it was really important that I get it right, because that's what I have to do to be able to hit this frickin' boss. How do I get out of here now? There we go. Being put in that situation was ticking me off, and then the breaking point is standard rule of bosses in a platformer game like that, where when it is a boss that is hard to hit, where you're not just wailing away with a standard attack, where like you have to jump through some hoops to hit them at all. Standard rule is do a thing 3 times and win. And the thing that I was trying to do was a big pain in the ass, and I did it 3 times, and he wasn't dead. And then he killed me. That was the point at which I said, screw this. Like, I had been powering through on the basis of, okay, I've been managing to do this thing, I've been managing to do this thing 2 times. I bet you that I can have it happen a 3rd time. So I can get the 3 hits and then win. And then I hit him the 3rd time and he didn't die, and that was it. I was freaking done. Like, it was a thing where I found myself thinking, like, I can imagine... like, honestly, I had the same issue with Leica when I tried that. Like, I bet if you can get a handle on this, it probably feels really cool to be good at, but I'm not having fun trying to get good enough to even progress, much less, like, actually be good at it. So, to hell with it. All right, give me a second. Oh, I played Celeste and beat it before I even started streaming my gaming. I beat that one on the Switch. That one tried my patience, but I did beat it. Oh, that's beautiful. Whoa! All right. That's scary. Now, I haven't replayed Celeste since learning that the character was intended to be trans. I started to, I just didn't finish that replay. It didn't add... Knowing that didn't add enough where it felt like a substantively different experience. That one I don't know, Steam Warped. I've never actually heard of that one. Well, yeah, I am glad that Celeste has the accessibility options that it does. Like, accessibility options are important. Whoa. The way it forms, I really love that. Thanks for the lift! Hold on, let me just check here real quick. Okay. Oh. I see what you did there, Nick. Alright, so I should have stopped. Alright. So what I'm going to need to do... I'm liking it, Inspector. Gotta do that, and then this. Oh, I jumped too soon. Should have waited for the scream. Okay, okay. There we go. It's hard to tell, Nick. It was presented as a hazard. It may have actually been trying to help. It's hard to tell. Certainly the tone of the thing was antagonistic. Hey there, Context. Good to see you. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Whoa. Okay, so hang on. Huh. What are we doing here? What am I know I'm trying to get this thing to bloat enough to ring the bell, but it doesn't... Excuse me. Alright, I'm missing something. What am I missing? What am I missing? What am I missing? What am I missing? Oh, there we go. Thank you, Kura. I was getting close to looking it up. I wasn't convinced that I could make the jump from the bell to the other platform. So it helped to know that I could. Yeah, I kind of want to second Nick's question on that 255 as to on what grounds was that not okay for her to wear? Because I can think of some, but I also don't really want to guess. I mean, I know, like, to use the U.S. as a comparison, there are some schools that have, like, not wearing overtly political symbols or imagery to school, and technically that would count. So I just didn't want to assume that that was what was going on. Whoa. That makes sense, Ghost. I mean, I am not personally a particularly big fan of school uniforms, but, like, they are a thing. Oh, whoops. Made that jump too early. Okay, and again. Dang it. Well, I mean, like, yes, naturally that's you know what the right wing press is gonna do. Like, they make us ashamed to be British. Oh, bite me. But I can't help but feel like the school screwed up a little bit. That if it was their intention to not have flags be an option, that really should have been specified. Because I don't think it's an unreasonable thing for, I mean, I don't know how old these kids are, but I don't think it's an unreasonable assumption for, honestly, much of anybody to make that, like, oh, something that symbolizes my culture. Well, the flag certainly does. I don't think that is an unreasonable conclusion to come to. And if it's one that they weren't going to allow and people were going to get in trouble for, they should have thought of that and they should have specified. $12, yeah, they should have been more specific. Like, especially because flag is like the easy go-to thing. Otherwise, what are you asking people to do? Wear stereotyping on their body? Like, what? Yeah, I have to wonder what it was they even thought kids were going to wear. You know what I mean? Like, again, my go-to comparison would be like if this happened in America, but like if that had happened at an American school, would they have been expecting, you know, kids with Mexican heritage to show up in sombreros? Like, did they think that would be productive? And yes, policy absolutely has to account for implementation. Because regardless of what you meant, regardless of what you thought you were going to do, if you don't communicate it clearly and properly, that is your fault. Yeah, Jeff, welcome to the stream. Yep. Missed a few. The overall mood of this also reminds me of some of the more explory bits of Spiritfarer, which is another one of my favorite games to just unwind with. Whoops. Okay. Am I supposed to be able to make that jump? That is the question. There we go. Oh, I've missed a bunch of stuff, apparently. Wednesdays and Fridays most weeks, Jeff, for future reference. I can understand that, Chris. Stanley, there were a couple characters who broke me, and Stanley broke me the worst. I'd say that there are 3 characters in Spiritfarer that broke me. And I think everybody who plays it all the way through, or even most of the way through, can name at least one character that broke them. For me, it was Summer, and Atul, and Stanley. And Stanley broke me the worst. Yeah, if that's all they said, 255, that is not properly instructive. I think Alice is hard for. That's one I hear a lot. I've heard artists sometimes have a real tough time with Gustav. Daria, can I be honest? I don't super love the additional ones they added. I don't super enjoy Daria and Jackie. I think maybe it's just because I felt it was really complete before they got added. I don't know. But Summer got me because Summer reminded me of somebody very specific in my life. Atul got me just because of the very specific way that he was done, and I don't want to spoil that for anyone who hasn't played the game. And Stanley got me because he's just a kid. He's just a kid who wants to share the things that he likes and wants people to be happy. So, yeah, Stanley really got me. Yeah, I think my ability to enjoy Daria and Jackie was hindered by the fact that I knew they were add-ons, and given the experience that I'd had with the original group, they very much felt like add-ons to me. But I think if they're there from the beginning, it probably plays a little better. All right, what am I missing? What am I missing here? Ah, there we go. Nope. That is very much what you are, Dharma. Yeah, I mean, Spiritfarer, if it hits you at all, and I think odds are, for most people, there's going to be at least one character that gets you. Like, yeah, you're going to cry eventually. My kiddo played it too. It was the it was the first piece of media that made my kiddo cry. I think the two big ones for them are Stanley and Astrid, if I remember. Although when they went to play it a second time, like knowing that the pain was coming, even Gwen got them, which is like the first one, and that one got them on the second playthrough just because they knew that the feels were coming. But yeah, the two, well, no, Atul was big for them too. So the three big ones for them were Atul, Stanley, and Astrid. All right, hang on. Spiritfarer might be my favorite game. It's way up there. And I really like the way it gets you into a routine. Like, that was why it's interesting. I kind of was introduced to the game with the review that Yahtzee Croshaw did on Zero Punctuation. And he said he thought it lost steam at the end and that the ending wasn't as powerful as it could have been. I found the ending to be extremely powerful because of a very specific thing that happened to me, which was even as there were, fewer and fewer, what the hell? What? Even as there were fewer and fewer passengers. Oh, wait a minute. Ha! Even as there were fewer and fewer passengers on board, I still found myself, doing the routine. Oh. And what made the very end of that game really, really hit me was that eventually I realized I wasn't doing the routine for anybody anymore. But I still kept doing it for a while. And I was reluctant to stop doing it. All right, can I get the timing right? Damn it. Okay. I don't even know if what I'm doing is going to work, but I'm trying. I'm talking about Spiritfarer, Halef, which is a game that this is reminding me of. No, so that doesn't work. So what do I need to do then? Huh, hold on. If that doesn't work... So if I can't... Yeah, just in general. I can't get a frozen thing mid-air. What are we doing? Whatever the school were thinking, I don't think is a sign of systemic bias against English culture and the British education system, which is how the media have treated it. Of course they've treated it that way, and no, it absolutely is not. Yeah, that I would not be... I'm not going to say that this is what happened, but I wouldn't be shocked to learn that her parents encouraged her to wear the flag. I'm not going to say intending to cause a stir, but like if they feel that a burqa is equivalent, then they clearly have some messed up priorities. What do I need to do to get up there? What do I need to do? I know that gets me a step. Wait a minute. What if I do this? Because then I wasn't in midair. So hold on, let me up. Ha ha! Gotcha. There we go. There we frickin' go. All right, let's see what's over on this side. Oh. Hold on. Oh, wait a minute. Oh. Hold on. Oh, no, wait. Thought maybe. Wait a minute. Let me think. Oh, shit. Come on. God damn it. Okay. All right, I think I've got this. We are going to be wrapping up soon. Oh, come on. Ha ha! Gotcha. Nah, I'm going to be wrapping up in the next few minutes, Jeff. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. Okay, let's see. Whoa. Can someone who's played this tell me, like, roughly how close I am to the end? Oh, hey, Jen. I'm glad you could make it. It's the 4th level out of 5. Okay. So I don't think I can justify sticking around to the very end of the game then, if there's like another full level after this one. Well, let's see if we can like get to a... Whoa. All right. Yeah, no, we're going to wrap it up there. So in terms of what is coming up, Saturday's video is going to be about the current state of feature-length animation. Unfortunately, it's not up in early access yet. I'm going to try and have that up by tomorrow for YouTube members and Patreon supporters. Tomorrow, there should be Quill and Sword on Partridge Quill on Twitch. That's the role-playing stream that I participate in. There'll be more stuff out in the break room. I have reviews coming up for Squid Game season 3, and I forget what else. It's all scheduled. And new episode of the podcast here on Monday. There will not be a gaming stream on Friday. I've got a lot on my plate, and I'm not going to be able to do it. But when I come back, I might wrap this up, or I might not be able to resist wrapping this up in my own time. I don't know. But this has been lovely, and thank you all for joining me, and be well, be safe, and be kind. I'll see you.